This is Ian with Build Brothers. Going to go ahead and do a digital inspection here at 922 South Myers in Oceanside. Going to start here at the ground level, and what we're pointing out is all of the rotten wood around the trim up at the top where the drip edge overlaps that piece of trim. And so it sounds like this building is going through an extensive exterior remodel where all of the stucco is being replaced. The stucco will always terminate to the trim pieces, and so all of the rotten wood on the exterior of the building should be replaced at the same time and go on before the new stucco goes on. As we work our way around this building, we see that the majority of that trim up underneath both the rain gutters and the drip edge is all rotten. We've got this one or two light fixtures that could be lowered before the new trim and stucco go on. You can see here, typically when the trim is rotten, that means that the roof is leaking. Maybe not a lot, but enough to get moisture to that trim to allow that rot to happen. We do have surface rust around this drip edge, and just being so close to the beach, that's typical. So we can either go back with a clad metal that won't rust, or copper that will last forever. We've got a tar and gravel roof. Common misconception is that tar and gravel lasts forever, and unfortunately nothing lasts forever. These have a usable life of about 20 years in Southern California. The first place where they're going to fail, at the drip edge, where the drip edge has a seam. So sure enough, we start to look around, boom, that's an active leak. That probably correlates with rotten trim or rotten fascia right there. As we work our way down the front of this, another one, that's an active leak. Water's getting under there every time it rains. It correlates to that seam in the drip edge. As we work our way down, we just keep finding that same thing. Right here, it's loose, water's getting in there, and again and again. So unfortunately, this tar and gravel roof is beyond its usable life and needs to be replaced based on that adhesion between the tar and gravel plies and the drip edge. I could find it all the way around as I continue to work my way around. The gravel has stayed pretty well distributed. The gravel protects the tar from the sun, but unfortunately it's time for this roof to be replaced. We didn't look in the courtyard from the ground, but we see that that rot and that surface rust on the drip edge is consistent throughout. I wouldn't recommend any repairs. I would only recommend a full re-roof on a building this age, or on a roof this age. We'll go ahead and move our ladder and get up on the condos. All right, we've climbed the ladder to get on the roof of the apartments, and the first thing we notice is that the drip edge appears to be a lot older than the torch down. Torch down roofing material up on this above the units appears to be in good shape at first glance. But because that drip edge is really raising concern, I'm going to go ahead and take a peek. Sure enough, what they did is torch down over the top of tar and gravel. And in no scenario would that be okay. I guess that could be a very brief kind of emergency repair, maybe to get through the rainy season until the roof is actually replaced. But definitely not okay to do torch down directly over the top of tar and gravel. So the old tar and gravel roof is still under there, and they put this layer of torch to basically get down the road a little ways. As we climb up onto this roof, we see that a lot of the seams didn't have enough heat, and so there's no bleed out, there's no melted tar there, and so that tells us that you know, even if they had done this roof over the top of a solid subroof, that it would not last very long. We got a whole bunch of debris from the tree up here. Tenant has complained about these palm fronds falling on the electrical wires, as well as falling down on the patio below. We've got gutters that are totally full of tree debris. Considering the extensive exterior remodel, I would definitely get rid of the gutters, redo the gutters. Majority of the fascia and trim will be rotten, just like on the garages. Obviously, we've got some trash up here. These satellite dishes are no longer in use. I would assume that the majority of these cable wires are no longer in use, although typically we don't touch those because it's impossible to tell which ones are and are not. That is called Z-bar. This metal is built underneath the stucco. Typically when we re-roof a building, that has to stay, but because the stucco is being replaced on this building, I would strongly suggest that the Z-bar be replaced. Up here we can see just how rotten all of the trim is, and then how the drip edge is just completely disintegrating. I can see the tar and gravel roof underneath that torch down roof up there too. And so we know that roof is long gone, beyond its life expectancy, and needs to be replaced sooner rather than later. Kind of amazing that it is keeping these units dry. We've got some old cast iron that is just crumbling there. And last thing I wanted to show you, I'm not gonna bother pulling my ladder up to get up there, just because what I can see from the edge is plenty of evidence to know that that roof needs to be replaced. You can see how that roof is coming up, water's getting in there. Another dead satellite dish, and then we've got a heat vent here with no cover, and so that's going down to the furnace or the water heater, and water's getting in there every time it rains.